Hey guys, this is your teacher. Now, I have asked you to basically be done with your zip lines, right? And if you're not done, you were super uber duper close to being done and you're gonna get it finished. So with that being said though, you would have all of these boxes already filled in, right? These are your tables, and this is where you were putting your data in, right? So those should all be filled in. But I'm only going to ask of you to produce one graph, but to produce even one graph, you're going to have to deal with two data sets, essentially. Right now, as you can see, I have Charlie's up, which I just been putting information in really. And so the numbers, I didn't actually test this, right? But this is real for you, right? Like you tested this, right? You measured this all in inches, you timed it, right? You did all of that. Now, when it comes to speed in inches per second, you can do this manually. That's not a problem, right? You would just take 259 divided by 3.4. It's the same concept of when you're driving in a car and your mom is going 30 miles per hour, right? 30 miles, the distance, then divided by time, they're doing it by hour. We're doing inches per second. I'm going to let Google Sheets do that for me versus by hand because we work smarter, don't work harder, right? But for you that aren't familiar with this and it might be a totally new concept, like that's okay, right? We'll just take it one step at a time. So I want you to produce one graph, right? It's actually one of our standards, and it's one of the standards you're being graded on, right? I'm evaluating you on the standard and the first steps of doing this, okay? So what we're going to do is just highlight both of the tables, right? Whatever ones you want, and go copy. I shouldn't say whatever ones you want. Be consistent in what you pick. So what I mean consistent is you notice here, these are both carrier one. So the same carrier, but different objects. So that's actually what we're graphing and comparing then, is actually the object to the same carrier. So you can do the bottom two where you're doing the other carrier in different objects, or if you wanted to, get crazy, you could do it based on object two, but the different carriers. So the goal is not to be different on both things, right? You have to be consistent with one. So I'm choosing just to do carrier one. That's where I'm consistent, but the difference is object one versus object two. All right. So I pulled up Google Sheets already. All right, we'll just get a new thing out because your teacher's been goofing. So Control V, right, is how you paste it in. Okay, so there's my data. Right, it's not in there. This was object one, carrier one. Okay. All right. Speed in seconds. So Google Sheets, once you play around with this stuff in your graphing or in Excel or whatever it is, they do all the hard work for you, right? You just have to learn how to put equations in. Okay, so equals is basically setting you up for the equation. And for this, I'm going to say, hey, this cell, so this is a cell, divided by this one. Okay, and it's the same thing you would exactly be doing by hand, as you can see. But I'm asking it to take B3 divided it by this one. Okay, and I just hit enter, and it gives you the answer, right? So if you did this by hand, you probably just said it was 76, right? Instead of all the numbers behind it. And when you drag it down like I just did, it automatically does it to the other cells with that same pattern. So from here, I'm going to say equals average. And I'm assuming you guys know what the average is, right? The average is taking all the numbers and dividing it by how many times it has occurred. Okay, so we're going to take the average of the speed that we got for the runs. Okay, so average, okay, we'll just hit that. And it's asking you, it's like, hey, okay, I see you want the average, but where am I getting the average from, right? Because computers, they're powerful, but they're not smart, okay? Like they're looking for your constant input of where things are coming from, which we'll talk about and we'll work on. So it's this cell all the way to that one. Then you have to close it with another parenthesis, okay? Boop, see, now it's complete, it's happy, and you hit enter. Nice, okay? So the average speed was 98 point, let's just say 4 for object 1 and carrier 1. So this is how I'm going to set this up here. I'm going to say this is object 2, or no, object 1, right? Object 1 was 98.4 for average speed, right? And then I'm going to put inches per second. Okay. Now we need to figure out what it was for object 2. Same thing, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did above. Okay, so I'm not really going to talk it through. I'm dividing this one by this. Okay, then I'm going to pull it down. Nice. All right, so that was the speed. I'm going to equal out the average here. And it's already asking me, it's like, hey, is this what you want to do? And I'm just going to say yeah, because they're right. Hit enter. Okay, that's the average speed for object 2 and carrier 1. So I'm going to put that right here then. 39 point, we'll just say 96, so we don't have to round everything up. All right, so well then that's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to change that one to a 39. All right, okay. All right, so basically we have our data. So our next step, highlight it, and we're going to say insert a chart, right? Because I'm looking for you to produce a visual representation of your data. Okay. Averages, there's strength in finding an average and seeing it visually put out there. So chart. Can you just hit chart with it highlighted? Oh gosh, here it is. So right away it produced a pie chart, which is kind of awful, right? We don't want to see a pie chart with this type of data. Not what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for a column right here. Nice. So it kind of already spit out what I was looking for automatically. So, oh my gosh, your teacher has look, she misspelled that there, okay? But anyway, this is object 1, this is object 2, right? Average speed, right, they have on the y-axis, and on the x, we just have labeled which is which. Now, I want to change this, though. This isn't right for a title. So let's say you do this and your computer's putting out wonky stuff, right? When you go to chart editor, this is so powerful because you can change the way the chart looks like, right? You can also change the setup, okay? Maybe it's not what you wanted to say. Like right now, title the text, that's not what I want. I want to say carrier 1, I'm gonna go carrier 1, average zipline speed. I mean, I hate it way over on the left side. Like, I'd rather have it in the middle. Let's see, can I do that? Right, yes I can. Carry 1 average zipline speed. So I'm only asking you to produce one graph. So if you would produce this graph with your data, that would be fine, right? I chose the carrier, which is the same for both. The objects were different. Now, then it's like, okay, what's the data telling me? Like, if I look at this, what's it saying? Okay. Clearly, object 1 in this carrier traveled way faster than this one. Why? Right? Does it have to do with the weight? Does it have to do with the kind of carrier it was? So on and so forth. To take it a step further, you could easily produce another graph that just says, hey, carrier 2 with the 2 object, and really have a different comparison of all the data visually. I'm not asking that of you. I'm asking you just produce one graph, right? And now your graph has to have some kind of columns, right? Like the pie chart just looks weird. It doesn't look right. Okay, so it has to be something like this. Things have to be labeled, right? A graph isn't powerful if nothing's labeled. It's like, I don't understand what is happening, okay? So once you're happy with this, right, you would just hit, let's see, you can hit download, right? You can download it. I would just hit copy chart. And then wherever you are, right, because let's say this was mine, it's like it says graph goes here, right? Delete it. Control V. I'm just going to unlink it, right? Because so what it's asking me right now, it's like, hey, do you want to link your chart to that data set? And then basically, if I would change something in my data set, it automatically update it. For you guys, that might be worth it. For me right now, I'm in Charlie's stuff. I'm not going to link mine, right? And I don't want to mess up his stuff when he actually starts putting stuff in. So I'm just going to say no, paste it. Okay, there you go. There's your graph and your thing. Then you would answer my questions, right? Be thoughtful, okay? Do some sentences. Don't just say, oh, it was faster. Well, they're both zip lines, or right? Think about it. Why was this happening? Right? What's a logical explanation for this that we've talked about, right? This is what I'm expecting of you Monday. So not only will I talk about this in class, which you already know if you're listening to this again, like here it is. Here is a visual of it also. Okay. Tuesday is our last catch-up day for the zip line, and we are moving on. All right. Have a great day, guys.